Hello, so I just got a mark on my screen. Anyway, welcome to a new video. This is my truth about growing up video that I've been meaning to do. I'm trying to do these once a week, but as time flies, it hasn't been possible. But I'll try and get these done as regularly as possible. So I wanted to talk about boyfriends and makeup. Seriously, I've done my makeup today because I just filmed a makeup and chat video. And so, and I want to do this video, but this will go up sort of late tonight because I don't want too many done in one day, because I understand that it ends up in your inbox and you've probably got more important things than to worry about my content going out. So I'm going to either schedule this later on or for tomorrow. But I just wanted to talk about that. I was never one to have lots of boyfriends or even have a boyfriend until, not seriously anyway, till I was in my 19s, 18. I just wasn't interested. I was just going out. I got into rugby league, and I would spend lots of my weekends in the week going to matches, going to away games and home. And it did kind of take over my life, so I didn't really have a boyfriend as such. And I didn't do makeup then at all. If they did like a dinner and dance, which I often used to do at rugby, I know there's lots of rugby clubs that do that, and they would have like a presentation, and it was a yearly thing. I dressed up, but really I was, when I go to sporting events, I like to wear the shirt, I like to wear, sport attire, clothing, so. And so I was there to watch the rugby, not to really date anyone. But I did, get together with some of my male friends, I would say. But it wasn't serious in the end, and I just wanted to keep them as friends. And sometimes that can happen. And also makeup. I'm talking makeup. I didn't really wear makeup until in my life. I did have kids makeup as a kid, because I was very much in my childhood I was very girly, and then I became a bit rebellious and then became a bit of a tomboy in the sort of 90s, going further on. I grew out of the boy band theme, and I think I talked about this before, but I just, I did have friends who had boyfriends, but for me it wasn't something that I really, looking back, wanted. I just like being around good, happy-go-lucky people, and that's and I had that rugby, and so when I used to go dancing, to school every Saturday, and I would just up for that. I would always wear my dancing shoes, and would often wear skirts for that, because I would make it. Well, you can always tell when I like something, so I make the effort for doing that. And so, and it was nice on Saturday to wear something other than school uniform all the time, So, and as soon as I left school, all my uniform, all my books, like exercise books that I used to do my schoolwork, all went in the bin. The only thing I kept was my National Record of Achievement. I've still got that, and I keep that. I've still got that today. I haven't used it. So I keep getting alerts from headlines. And so I was never really, someone who had lots of boyfriends. And it's not a be and end all in a teenager if you don't have a boyfriend. Because it all depends on where you are in your teens, how you feel about yourself as a teenager. You get a lot of emotions I've talked about before. You would start to develop feelings towards either the same sex or opposite sex. We have to accept that, there are people who don't go for the opposite sex, that there are people who are in good gay relationships. I'm purely heterosexual, and that's me, but I respect other people's choice when it comes to sexuality. And I'm very kind of on board with my sexuality now. I'm very kind of like, I know where I'm at. I don't like to attract anyone that I'm not sort of in that boyfriend and girlfriend zone. It has to be somebody that I love and they love me back. So, you know, I'm not somebody who sort of jumps from one person to another. Never been like that. In fact, after my, I would say my first boyfriend, I didn't have another boyfriend until I went to Butlins, which was about 4 or 5 years later. You know, it's not something that I required, or sometimes I used to think about it, but other times I didn't, because in my 20s I just was going out enjoying myself, and I'm glad I had that time. And now I've kind of, you know, I'm very much solitude now, where I love my own company at times, but I do like socialising. I do like seeing different people, and I've embraced the internet world, keeping in touch with people that I don't necessarily see every day. And that's another thing, that be aware of changes that happen in your life, because they will change. You realise that not everybody's going to live forever. There will be people who sadly will lose their life in their early years, and that can be hard to deal with. There was 2 girls in my class or my year that I found out have passed away. You know, and you know, it is sad, because that's not what life's supposed to be. You know, we have like an expectation on life, and that when people die at a young age, it's like, well, what happened there? You know, why were they given such a short time to be around? You know, and that's the kind of questions I ask now. And looking back at my teens, I was still taking my time to get to know myself. You know, I love dancing, and that was my genre really. But then I fell in love with football, and when I became a football fan, even though it was sort of bred within me, because my dad and both my parents liked football, I became obsessed and was fanatical. And when I become fans of things, I jump in with both feet. I do. I don't necessarily expect to meet them, to be honest, but you know, I've always been that person who, when there's something I really like and I want to watch it all the time, I feel like I have this loyalty and know those people, and actually I don't. They just help inspire me, you know, in lots of ways. So you know, when it comes to boyfriends and that, just be very careful. You know, if they start to make like nasty comments, or they start to disrespect you, not saying that I've experienced that, but I've seen it happen, then it's time to ask, you know, is that person worth the fight or not? And when it comes to makeup, you choose your own time to wear it. Well, some women don't wear it at all, and I respect that as well. I don't wear makeup every day. Mondays is my no makeup day, really. It's just doing videos and books, looking for work. So I'm looking to work outside more again, in different genres. I've got my coffee. This is a Kenko latte, and the iced coffees they do very nice. And because I want to save a bit of money, and I actually do this each month, save myself a little bit of money, I will buy the sachets of coffee, because it does work out to be cheaper than going to a coffee shop and having one, even though I do like to treat myself. So anyway, you know, you choose your time when you want to wear makeup, or if you don't wear it at all, you know, don't be driven by peer pressure. Do what you feel you want to do, and make sure it's something that you want to do, you know, not because somebody else is doing it. So, you know, so that's it really. That's what I wanted to share in this Truth About Growing Up, and I will be doing more and more. So I will see you then. Take care.